Date, November 17th, year 20. This emergency alert has been issued by the government of Reinheit. The implementation of the Servians Act strives for the protection of our women. Important instructions for women will follow. Stay inside at all times unless otherwise instructed. Do not leave without male supervision. If you receive a notice of termination, stay inside and wait for the proper authorities. Do not go outside. If you or anyone you know has violated or is violating the Servians Act, obey your superior and call 026. Emergency Order 39 has been extended until the end of January. This is WBOE, serving the Bain region.
Here's to the ladies, the fair and the weak. Fair they are, we'll all admit. But who dares call them weak?
It is quiet. A torturous silence when the lungs a woman needs to breathe are ripped from her chest. And she sits there in the dark, watching the red flowers blossom from her arms. Temptation fills her chest for the glistening silver in her hands, as she wants nothing more than to cut the stems of the red flowers blooming in her throat. How can a flower grow without the very earth that cultivates it? A woman's lips are meant to be caressed by the tender touch of a man, a breathless sensation. But with him, she does not need her lungs. He is her body. He breathes in, out. His oxygen, so overwhelmingly paralyzing that her desire has devoted to hydrating itself under the waterfall of his presence. His current perilous, but phenomenal as it courses through her, no longer empty, but fulfilled, complete. For the power that struck from his being and radiated from his hands convinced her of her true purpose, a galvanism so tremendous, emitting when the crevice of his lips closed around her neck and up to the roses blossoming from her face, igniting a spark.
Mr. Harvey Allister submitted a missing report this morning for his primary dependent, number 674. If you or anyone you know has information regarding this case, please contact 055. If you find number 674, please return her to Double X Control.
Your hit parade. Quick, quick, Richard Hudnut, new home permanent. Quick, quick, can be done in just 1 hour. From start to savvy, get Richard Hudnut, new home permanent, and get it quick.
What is that whipcord resilience that lets the weaker sex play half the night, then bob up clear-eyed, ready for the next morning's work? This frail creature strikes her typewriter keys about 40,000 times a day, spaces 7,000 times, shifts to capitals and returns the carriage more than 1,000 times each. Altogether, a few ounces at a time, she exerts more than 5 tons of pressure on her dainty fingertips in 1 day's work. And any way you look at it, women's work is not for sissies. Most men would have a hard time of it if they were to change jobs with wife, mother, or girlfriend. The homemaker walks miles every day, from sink to icebox, from cupboard to stove, and from kitchen to dining table. Let's use some very special photography to compress the whole job of preparing a meal into a few seconds of time, to see how many steps it really takes to get dinner on the table. Remember, this is a hurry-up picture of just 1 meal out of more than 1,000. Is that what you'd call a blitz meal?
The pounding sounds of the waves against the starboard tempt the boat to give into its depths. Salty blue flooding her only sense of safety, the sound of the boards creaking as it breaks beneath its weight, salty tears streaming down her cheeks. And she is found clinging to the wheel with no control. Seasick. Is this it? She thinks. She bathed herself in its mist as the wind felt like soft kisses against her cheeks. But is the ocean really her enemy? Or perhaps a friend, begging and trying with all its might to wrap its tides around her in an absorbing embrace? She listens to the wind.
This is the police. We have the place surrounded.
And overwhelmed by the influence, she flings herself overboard, at the sea's disposal, into the watery abyss. Instinctively, she holds her breath, but the anchor around her ankle drags her down deeper until her precious boat, her only hope, cannot be seen. She breathes in,